Hello.
Hello. How's everybody today? Um, Live as well as the people who are listening to this on replay. I am your host today. I'm Sylvester Raymond. I'm the founder and chief executive officer at JV Marketing Technologies. And my guest today is actually somebody you know. She's normally in my seat. I'm actually in her seat. And we have today Crystal Balk, our chief marketing officer at JVMT. How are you today, Crystal?
Hi, I'm very well. Thank you for having me today. And I get to be on this side. So this is going to be exciting coming from you. Can't wait to see what you have placed for me.
Oh yeah. No, it's a safe space. Okay, remember it's a safe space. I'm gonna ask questions and talk to you a little bit about what you do and why what you do is so important. You've done this, the marketing piece and branding piece before you came to JVMT.
Mhm.
Can you tell us about one of your biggest, um, uh, or one of your biggest or most exciting things that you did that you saw the benefit? Where was the company before you met them, and then where was the company then after you did what you did from a marketing and branding perspective?
Absolutely. Well, first off, thank you for introducing me and all this great stuff. I can't wait to share all that I have learned in this particular field that honestly fills my heart in so many ways because Sly, I don't just get to do marketing, but I get to educate people about marketing. I
Mhm.
think one of the main reasons why I got into this particular field was because of so much fear we could say that there is, and part of it is because it's still something new. It's still something new, and even though there is a lot of information out there, each information is triggered in different ways and it doesn't work for everybody. So I've always said that in order to really help somebody in the marketing world, you have to know everything about them. So part of it is, yeah, people have, for example, they get a business, right? And they create business plans and they create sales plans and they create products plans, every single thing. And one of the things I started noticing when I was started coming into these businesses, that I have a marketing plan. And a lot of times they didn't have a business plan. I was like, how are you guys operating? Right? So you sit here and you're like, all right, hold on. So one of the things that the factor is business plan, sales plan, marketing is supposed to be the last thing. But sometimes I couldn't even do that because there's other areas that were in place. But when I was able to get to the point where marketing was the only thing that needed to be left over and create a plan based on that. And it's not just to create a plan, it's because it's like who's gonna know about your business? Why is your business so important? Like everybody starts a business with a story, a reason. Why? They don't just be like, I'm just gonna be a business owner. They literally sit there and be like, well, this was generations, so I'm gonna continue the business. Or I wanna have a better, future for my kids. Or I don't want to work in corporate for the rest of my life. Whatever the reasons are, there is a story behind everything. So at the end of the day, what sells is the emotions aspect of it, right? How can people attach themselves to the story or to you as a person, as an owner of what you're doing? I'll give you an example. I have a friend that actually create. Well, she's brought from Mexico those reusable purses. So she's very eco-friendly, and she wants to make sure that people, in fashion, they spend a lot of money to create these products, but they don't realize the damage that they create into the environment. So when she came to me with her product, I said, okay, why are you doing it? What's the real reason of why you're doing this? So she had been in a relationship previously, and she was a, a victim of domestic violence. And part of that was she wanted to help a lot of women that are going through something similar in Mexico and don't have income for themselves to get out of the relationship that they need to get out of. I said, that's your story. That's your branding, right? That is what you're going to be selling as your story. And the reason why is because anybody can create these purses. Actually, we went to this event thing, and she was showing her purses, and she was saying they're reusable, this and that, and she was like, well, there's so many of those here. And I butt in and I said, no, the difference is that she actually helps a lot of women come out of domestic violence because she employs them, and they create these products that you are buying. She bought 5 that day because of that. So
Now, now, would you say that was so? The question was, what's one of your shining moments? Was that the story? Was that the
correct.
one that was one of your
Yeah.
biggest moments? And what do you think that what changed the trajectory of her business um, because of what you're able to do? What I mean, where was she, and then how far did she go when you changed her business with her with branding?
I Part of the change of where I'm going with, part of the change is the mindset of it, right? A lot of times when we think of marketing, we just think social media, a website, and we just think of the logical and the technology side. But in reality, there goes way more that goes into the marketing side that a lot of people don't understand and comprehend very well. And that's fine. It's something that you learn over time, or something that you study, or you do something, unless you're in it. She was doing very well, the postings and doing this and doing that, but she wasn't really selling a lot, right? And part of it is because she wasn't understanding that her story has power to it. Once we were able to create her marketing plan and then work towards it, her strategy, her overall strategy, work towards it, she like grew like this. Now she has her products in Chico stores. She has her products all over. People buy them from all over the world now because she was able to. It's just kind of like it clicks in your head, like, oh my god, this is changing. This is life changing. But we would have never got there if we wouldn't have created a plan for her or educated her of the understanding of the importance of sitting down and actually saying, all right, why do I have my business? Why is it important? How are we going to execute? What is the main goal? How many customers do we need in order to like gain profit? Sorry, it's
Mhm.
you're gonna hear some stuff.
No, it's okay.
How are you gonna move forward from this? Right? At the end of the day, you have a product, you have a good
So,
business, you have a good product, but how are you gonna market it? And I
so what's the difference? Okay, so this is a question people ask a lot. They want to know what's the difference between the sales side of my organization and the marketing side of my organization. Aren't they the same thing?
no.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Okay. Some of the difference is the marketing side leads to your sales. Okay. So if you have established your marketing properly to the best fit to your business, and then you marketing the weight and have advertisement and do all this other stuff, speak, it's a whole, it's a lot of little things that go in together that fit into what's going to fit the sales. Once everything's in order, because a lot of times people are going to look you up and they're not going to buy from you if they don't see anything in order online. If they see like, okay, well, this person's selling this, but how do I really know this is for true? They're going to go search you up. And if that, you don't even have a website, you don't even have the links properly, you don't even have some kind of publications or things of that matter, they'll be like, well, this person's not legit, even though you may be. Even though you may be. So you have to prepare yourself in the marketing side in order for more sales to come in.
So your marketing and branding is sort of the setup,
Correct.
and provides you the materials, the collateral, the assets that you need to sell. So
Correct.
if I'm a salesperson and my marketing team has done what they needed to do, it makes it quite easy for me to go into somebody who is actually interested in what I do, and for them to be able to say, you know what, yes, say yes to that, or at least make a decision that's best for them based on the information that marketing has provided me as a salesperson. Does that make sense? Is that
Yeah,
am I hitting the nail on the head with that?
correct.
Now, let me ask you another question. And people, and again, I'm asking these questions because people ask us these questions, right? So I understand that I need marketing, but why are marketing and branding different? So define those two things, and then why do you need both? I mean, if I have marketing, I can get sales, right? Why do I need branding, and why are they different?
Yeah, they go hand in hand. You can't do one without the other. And the way here at JB we do it, because it's just the easier way that it's going to work. We start with your personal branding, right? And why do we start with that? Well, in order for somebody to take you seriously, we got to make sure that everything online, because I just want to clarify that everything that's online is your new business card. It's how people are going to perceive you. It's people how are going to respect you, how are going to that allow you them into your space. And so at the end of the day, we want to make sure that your personal branding and your business branding are coexistent. And what does that mean is they have to tie in together to everything that you're doing. For example, Sly, you have a technology company, right? You're not going to be posting about a restaurant business more than your technology. Maybe you can share something about your restaurant business that can tie it into maybe an app that you can help, that you're helping them, or you help to create, whatever it may be. But you're not going to be just posting about a restaurant just because. Everything that you do has to be strategic, because it comes back to timing. As an owner, you have a lot of things going on, and timing is important. So aside from that, then we create the business plan. I mean, sorry, the business branding, and by then your personal branding was already corrected, and the content and the information that you're showcasing is going to coordinate with your business branding. Now, I just want to add in there that I've had people said it to me this before, and they said, well, why do I have to put anything about my business in my personal? You don't have to, but you're not going to be posting stuff that's going to be against your business, or you're not going to be posting stuff that you're going to have people fall off because of something that you said, and could be preventive at the end of the day. Now, as an owner, you have to be more careful. After you have created your story, who you are as a person, it's like kind of like, are you going to buy from somebody that you trust or you don't trust? If you don't even trust the person, you're not going to even buy from them.
Right.
So your personal and your business branding is a form of them showing them, basically you're showing them that they can trust you, right? You're transparent and you're being genuine, and that everything that you're doing is what it is, right? Especially nowadays, there's so many scammers, there's so much information out there that people are more prepared to be like, I don't know if this is right, I don't know if this is true. So the clear messaging is very important. Once we have that in place, then you can create a strategy of the overall goal. So more of the technical side, right? Then it's basically, okay, what kind of website do we need? Do we need social media? Which social media links do we need? Where's our audience, right? If you're going to do certain social media links, where's the majority of your audience coming from? And if it is, spend a little bit more time on those social media links. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to do 100% on each one. Just basically means that you can still attend the other ones, but you give a little bit more attention to certain ones that are being more profitable for you. Then after that, we give you, SWOT analysis, all the 9 yards of everything that you need to do, more of the technical and the data side of who, what, when, where, right? Who are my audience? Where are they coming from? What are they liking? Getting all that information, more of the technical side. And that's data for you as an owner to be like, okay, well, they like this way better. I'm not going to spend X amount of money on products or areas that they're not really liking, right?
So give us an example of where you started with the brand, built the brand, and then the marketing side. Give us so we can kind of understand this from a true customer aspect, where you worked with the brand, and you don't have to name the person or the company. It doesn't have to be us, but like where you started with the brand, built that, and then moved to the marketing side, so we can understand personal application.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a person that created their own protein shakes for women specifically. She realized that the hormones of women are very different than the hormones of men, and she did for men too, but she wanted to make sure that women that did a lot of exercise and had the right protein. This particular person went through 3 marketing companies before she came to me. And a lot of the issue, Sylvester, was nobody was really listening to her overall strategy and goal. They say we're like, this is what you need. This is what you need. So when a person like that comes to you, they're already guarded. They're already like, I'm not sure if this is gonna work or not. So when she came to me, I sat there and I listened. And she's already known and she's already branded person, right? But the difference is that now she has a product to add into it. So how are we gonna tie her personal branding into the business branding that she's doing now?
Uh-huh.
So this was like a 3-month project that happened. And at the very beginning, it was very difficult for this particular person to tie her personal into her business because she's very private. And she didn't want to showcase too much about her life. And you
So
don't.
so the thing is if you're a very private person, this is probably you probably don't want to go into business if you're too private, right? Because you have to talk about you and what you do and why you do it. Am I right? Because I've known people say I want to go into business, but I don't want to talk about myself at all. I don't want anybody to know anything about me.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Is that a problem? Okay, go ahead. Tell us why.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where I had her understand that there's no privacy in business. Yeah, maybe your kids and your family, people don't have to know about that. You don't in detail. They'll know that you have a family, but they don't have to know more in detail of what is happening in your family. However, you as a person have to come into the spotlight because you are the creator and the owner of this particular product. Because every day she works out. Because every day she lives the brand. She lives the brand. And she was a perfect example of why people will follow her. So in due time, I got the opportunity to actually uh, give her recommendations, and she started doing them. And slowly she started coming out and realizing. Now if you look at her brand, she's all over her brand. Now she's part of it. She's all out and all that great stuff. She I don't think I've ever been so happy to help somebody because this one was a little difficult for me personally, but I knew that I had to help her because I knew that she had something good going on.
Uh-huh.
After that, I worked with her on the plans and the basically step to step of everything that she needed to do moving forward with her brand, and she did absolutely every single thing. The only difference is that she actually executed
Uh-huh.
the plan. Not a lot of people do that, and so for me, I saw that her success coming through because she actually did it. I can sit here and I can tell you, Sly, everything you need to do, but if you don't execute and you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, it's not going to work
Uh-huh.
at the end of the day.
Right. Let me ask you this. So let's switch gears. We're going to talk about the JV. We're going to talk about the map in particular because you're a big piece of the success of the mobile app planning program that we created. And we do the business plans, we do the project plans, we do all this other stuff. We even do CEO leadership training. We introduce you to investors, all that kind of good stuff. Um, as it relates to apps, specifically to mobile applications, why do you think it's so important to build a good marketing and branding plan and to execute it?
Oh, simple. Very, very simple. If you don't do your marketing and your branding and you actually execute it, you're not going to be able to make your app successful. You're going to be part of that 99.99% of the people that are not successful with those applications. And part of it, it's like on anything, right? You have a business, and if you don't bring clientele, then you don't get sales. And if you don't get sales, you don't get to pay, maybe the place or things of that matter. In this case, mobile app, JV is putting it very easy for you to be successful. And it's giving, and the cool thing about it is that we work with you as a team, right? You're not alone. Whereas other businesses, you have to be alone or start alone, things of that matter. And with branding and marketing, it's even though it's quote unquote the last part of the business in that particular, it's actually not. It's one of the most important parts because it takes time. It takes time to build your your personal brand and your business brand. It takes time to execute. It takes time for people to start understand your clear messaging, where you're coming from and what you're doing and all that great stuff. So a lot of times we want things to happen and you're like, why is this not happening? I did everything I was supposed to do, right?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, you may have your business plan, you may have your logo, you may have your mobile application, you may have absolutely everything. But if you did, and Crystal help you with your marketing
Yeah.
plan and your branding, and you basically handed everything that you need to do in order to be successful.
Now, the thing that I like about what you do is it's not only so because of how we work. So what we do is we can help you in two ways. We can help you take that idea and then create revenue using that marketing plan, right? And those strategies that Crystal creates. But there's another audience that we need to think about, and that's the investor market. And so, why is it important to have a marketing plan when you're talking to an investor?
Oh yeah, you definitely, when you come to an investor, you have to be prepared. Not only do you have to know your numbers, you need to know from front to back. You need to know your business in every aspect, and they want to know how you're going to execute
Bingo.
this plan in this particular mobile app.
Yeah, they want to know how. They know what, and you mentioned this earlier. They know what it is, right? They know why you want to do it, right? But they don't know how you're going to execute it.
Right.
And that's and if you I guess to me, if you were an investor, when you want to know how they're going to make money so you can get the return on your investment, when you want to
Absolutely.
know, right? And so we just added more than 5,000 different channels for investment this last couple of weeks. Can you imagine having over 5,000 people that you were not only had a business plan for, not only had a logo, not only had sort of the user interface for, but you'd have somebody like Crystal, who's a professional, who's already been successful in this area, put together a plan for you, and then give that to an investor. I mean, what do you think your chances of success would be? And this is sort of rhetorical to the audience. But Crystal, as you've worked with us on some of our projects, one of them was the Wrong Way Driver project. Now, this person had already been in our company before, so I want to talk about retrofitting. So this app was already built because we know some people out here, your app is already built. You've gone, you've had it done, and that's great. But you're still not creating revenue. And it's okay because you're in a group that's 99.99% failure, right? But that's like everybody almost, right? Um, how did we, sort of resurrect that idea and put it in a position to win with the marketing strategies that you put together?
Absolutely. I mean, just because, like you were saying, the app was made doesn't necessarily mean that the person has the marketing. Most of them don't have the marketing, right? That's just why they're in that position.
Mhm.
And that's simple. We work with them from the level that they're in at that moment, and we work our way up. I think
Okay.
that's one of the greatest things that I love to do. What I do is because everybody comes from a different background and experience and coming from a different direction of understanding about marketing, and I get to educate them about it as well. And one of the best things is kind of like, if they're going to be presenting in front of investors, I want to make sure that they're happy and that they know their information as well and that they're prepared with it. And so
So how do we do that with Wrong Way Driver? Because they were an app that was already developed, but they didn't have Crystal's little magic touch on it. So how did you add your magic touch to that? And then next thing you know, we're on TV and we're moving forward and we're doing all sorts of stuff.
okay, because I'll tell you the process that I went with it. I basically analyzed, okay, what is this application about? I saw that it was a very important application that nobody around the world has it. I said, okay, we have an advantage there from a marketing point of view.
Mhm.
All right, how are we going to brand it? So we created an article and it went to over 100 different platforms, honestly.
Okay.
Sylvester and I had the opportunity to be on television and talk about it and promoting it in the sense of, this is what we're doing and this is what's going to happen. This is not something that where you're speaking in public relations. You don't tell them, oh, I'm going to do this. No, this is what we're doing right now and this is where we're going to head with. right? And being affirmations in that, and posting about it and sharing it with your network and with the people that, there's been a lot, even though, wrong way driving has been happening a lot and it may seem like it's usual. There's been people out there that have been heavily affected by a family member or a friend that they may have known that are more prone to be for this particular project. And if that's the case, hey, they're going to be sharing you. There's nothing better than somebody else promoting you than you
Mm-hmm.
promoting yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because one of the things that we were able to do is we were able to get in contact with. I remember a person that I had a relationship with on a business level at a radio station at CBS. And because we had put the marketing information together, I was able to show her that stuff. And because we already had it, because Crystal already had put that together, made sense to them. Sent it to her producer. Her producer said, "Yeah, let's feature that one tonight." I mean, they did it that fast, right? You remember they did it really fast. And then from that, and this is why having your marketing in place is so important. From that situation, we were able to get Univision saw that. They saw that on CBS 8. Univision, another big station, international company, contacted us and said, "We want to do a story too." And so they did another story. And then Caltrans, which is like California Department of Transportation, contacted us, right? We didn't contact them. They contacted us, sent me an email and say, "Hey, let's go on." And from that, today, we're in an affiliate program with Caltrans for the Wrong Way Driver app, which is the step right before we get to the pilot program, which is a paid pilot program. We just have to prove that the app works in an environment on streets. So guys, if you're in California, you're going to start seeing over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to start seeing the Wrong Way Driver app potentially where you're able to use it. And it started not because we developed the app. It started because we had marketing to come in and say, "Hey, here we are. Here's who we are and what we do and why we do it." And that made all the difference in the world. I mean, I was so elated because I saw what she was able to do. I saw the PR. I saw the people we were able to get in front of. And now we're in front of even more investors who want to invest in that technology with the Wrong Way Driver alert system. So that's been great just to watch and to see that happen with your assistance, Crystal. So thank you for that. And then now that's somebody who already had a net bill. And that's the bigger market that we actually have. That's 99.99% of the market that's failed already. Those are the people that should be contacting us. Right, Crystal? I mean, I was looking at some data. 73 billion people. 73 billion people. I'm sorry, $73 billion, excuse me, is made every year in mobile apps. 1% of that is going to creators, the people who actually own the app. The other 99% is going to people who develop apps. That's why we're different. The difference is we're going to give you the crystals. We're going to give you the mics. We're going to give you the Sylvester. We're going to do business plans and all that other kind of stuff so that you start correctly. So, Crystal, I know you've worked with a lot of people. Got just a few more minutes, but we worked with some people who didn't have the app created yet. Now, what puts them in a really good position versus somebody who's paid all this money to have an app done already, who we can still help, but what puts them in a better situation?
The cool thing about it is that you can start from scratch, right? You can literally start. You may not have to have the whole entire idea ready when you come to us, maybe just a little part, and then we helped you develop the rest of the idea. I'm like, okay, I see where you're saying with this. What about this from a marketing point of view? This could work and so forth. And the cool thing is that you'll have a team, like I was saying, to work with that. You don't have to do it alone. So a lot of times we think that we have to 100% be ready or know exactly like what we're going to do in order to create something. But the reality of it is no. And from a marketing point of view, we can create anything. Like Sylvester was mentioning, like one little article and one little interview created a snowball of information where important people were contacting us and wanted to hear about us in this particular project. right? That's part of the marketing side. However, when you're new, you don't have to have all of that at the very moment, because we will work, me and the team will work together in order to create that and for you to understand and to comprehend the steps. So actually, if you're new, you're actually in a better stage in the sense that you've already saved so much money, because JVMT puts 70% of the development costs out and you only have to put 30%, so you already saved money there. And then secondly, you get to create, maybe there were some ideas that you didn't know about or you didn't think about, that when you came into JVMT, guess what, now you have other ideas that are going to be placed into your app as well, that's going to be beneficial for you. But I want to also add in there, Sylvester, I have Angie Davila from Mexico. She said,
Yes.
Crystal Ball, I love this. She meant to say story from the lady in Mexico. When we love what we do and has purpose, I think we will achieve our goals. Thank you, Angie. Those are very, very wise words, and absolutely. And here at GBT, we love what we do.
That's right. That's right. And thank you for letting us know we have value, Angie. I really appreciate. We really appreciate that. I think that we're gonna close out here, but the cool thing is that we're a comprehensive end-to-end service. We start with helping you build your brand, your marketing, your business plan, all of those things. We invest in the cost of development, and then because we have all of these things, this packet, if you will, put together of information, we put you in the best situation where you can get in front of investors. And because of the deal we just did the other day, we already had investors, maybe about 100. Now we have over 5,000 investors that are looking at different industries, different types of ideas that you have, that we can submit your idea to. And so for me, that's sort of a win, 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 win all over the place. And I think we're the only company that I know of in the world doing this in a fully comprehensive way. In other words, once you walk in our doors, you don't need to walk out without having everything you need in one place.
And the beautiful aspect about all this is that we're global. We work with anybody around the world.
That's true. And the other part is that this is something new as well. I want to make sure I've said this on the front end, is don't worry about, do I have the money to do this, that kind of stuff. We finance your mobile app planning program, right? If you can spend a few $100s a month, you could qualify. As long as you qualify for the MAP program, your idea, you as a person, you could only spend a few $100s a month getting your app idea off the ground versus dropping thousands of dollars at one time. I think that's another great point with this. And then you get Crystal. You get to work with her. You get to talk to her. She's going to actually put you in a position where you can win. Go ahead, Crystal.
No. And also you get Sylvester, and we get another friend of ours, Mike, and he's amazing as well. So you get a lot of different heads from different avenues and experience and knowledge. And at the end of the day, we can win, but we have to win as a team, right? If you want to be real successful, you need a real team. And that's the beauty of here working with us. And Sly, thank you absolutely for everything that you're doing for this company. When you do things from the heart, and when you do things like Angie was saying, with real purpose of truly trying to help people, because we see that there is a gap in this particular area, but yet it's a good area to be part of. And when you you go past that and try to see the real benefits of this, man, the world is your oyster in every aspect.
Absolutely. Well, Crystal Balk, thank you so much for taking the time today with us to explain why marketing and branding is so important. You really brought out the information. You gave us examples. You're just a big monster piece of what makes JVMT a successful, not just for our company, but for our clients. And so that's what's most important to us. Thank you again for coming on. If you do have an app idea and it makes sense and you want to talk about it, you can go to appideasuccess.com. Go to appideasuccess.com. Do a 10-minute consultation. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Do a 10-minute consult. Talk about your idea with us. If you're on the replay, we appreciate you too. We know that after this, sometimes a lot of people go to our replay And so the people on replay, we appreciate you as well. We appreciate what you do. Share this with people that you know. I mean, it's so funny. Everybody always has an app idea. People say, I want to talk about an app idea.
Yeah.
And so we're providing that opportunity, a 10-minute consult where we'll talk to you about the idea. We'll talk to you initially about qualification, and then we'll, take about 5 minutes to understand what your idea is. And then we'll decide whether we want to move on to the next piece. It's really that simple, guys. So we look forward to having you. Crystal Balk, again, thank you for your time. Everybody out there in internet land and in the ether, we want to say hello and love you and appreciate you as well. And we will see you 2 weeks, two weeks, Crystal?
2 weeks from today.
And we'll have one of our one of our customers, one of our MAP customers, actually on, and you'll get to hear from them about why they went with JPMT and the comprehensive help they received from us that they can't get anywhere else in the world. And so thank you. Yes. What'd you say, Crystal? I didn't hear you.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I wish I had a piano. But thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Bye.